Hello and welcome back. Today first of all, thank you for joining me, but today we are going to make a little money spell jar, or if you would rather do a sachet, you can certainly do that too. It is up to you, whatever you have on hand, whatever is easiest for you to do. I just like the spell jars, I think they're cute. Okay, first things first, you're going to need either a little jar. You can do bigger than this, you can do smaller, up to you. Or one of these little sachets. The organza bags, you can buy a lot of them for pretty cheap. And you can do a jar that's bigger than this. It doesn't matter. I got these in bulk off of Amazon a while ago, so I'm just using what I have. Next, you will need some crystals. In this one, we're going to use citrine. I have green aventurine, and these little chips. You could also use moss agate. It's another one of my favorites. I'm also going to be using obsidian for protection and clear quartz to amplify our intentions. As far as herbs and other items, we have, at least for the jar, we have salt for protection. You might not want to use salt with this unless you have like coarse salt. Today I'm going to be using oats. I know this is a comically large jar for the size of the jar, but I'm going to be using oats. You can also use rice. Both are really great for manifesting money and bringing money towards you. I also have whole cloves. For the jar, you can also use ground if you want. It's up to you. And then we have basil. This is stuff my grandfather grew a while ago. And then we have lavender. Lavender is totally optional. I like to use lavender in order to calm my fears around money, and keep myself in an abundant mindset instead of a lack mindset. So whether you're doing the jar or the sachet, it's pretty much the same process. If you don't feel like buying all of the chips and stuff like that, because some of the chips can be hard to find for crystals, especially if you don't want to use Amazon as an option. So if you would rather do the sachet, that would be great, especially if you already have access to a lot of these crystals. But it's the same exact process. I like to start with crystals first, especially for jars, because I want to do the biggest stuff first. Okay, we're going to start with obsidian, and I just keep all mine in this little box. Oh, I'm sorry, I did forget to mention, you're going to want to, if you're doing the jar, you're going to want some sort of green candle. As I'm filling this up with obsidian. If you're doing the sachet, I really like to do a lot of color magic. So, I mean, black would be great, black or gray for protection, but green is the color for money if you would like to add some color magic to that as well. And we'll do one more little chip. I've already cleansed these. You can cleanse them with incense if you want, or you can put whatever you're using in your hand in between your palms and infuse it with your light. It's up to you, however you want to do that. So we have our obsidian in there. Next, I'm going to grab citrine for wealth and money. There we go. There's not really a specific amount that you need to have. Measure with your heart. Next, I'm going to use green aventurine. Oops. There we go. And honestly, for the jar, I'll probably leave it like that, just so I can fit more herbs and stuff in. If you wanted, you could do less obsidian and you can add clear quartz. Again, we're just focusing on what we have. All right. Next, we're going to add in our oats or our rice. Again, I know this is so comically large compared to how big this jar is. Some people like to add charms and stuff to their jars as well. Again, up to you. You might also want to add a few coins to your sachet. There you go. So we have our oats on top, or your rice if you're using rice. Again, another step, if you wish to take it, is you could dye your oats or your rice in green food coloring. Totally up to you. Depends on how much time and patience you have. And next we're going to add our salt to our jar. Again, if you're making a sachet, you might just want to skip the salt. And I like to shake that down a little bit so it's kind of protecting the crystals. Go. So we have salt for protection, followed by cloves for money. Cloves are also really great for protection. Add as many or as little as you want. Okay, clearly not many. More want to go in there. That's what we have so far. Next, we're going to do basil. Basil is great for wealth. You can add cinnamon in here if you want, especially if you're doing a sachet. Cinnamon sticks would be great. I love to use basil when manifesting money because cinnamon can be a very fast in, fast out kind of herb, and that's not what we want. At least not in this case. Cinnamon does have obviously its uses. I do the cinnamon ritual every first of the month, which is, if you are unfamiliar, you put some ground cinnamon into the palm of your hand, step outside the entry into your home, and blow cinnamon through your door. You can do it with basil too, but basil does make more of a mess. And then last but not least, I'm going to add some lavender to the top, just to calm my money fears, my money anxieties, and cap it. If you're doing the little sachet, the little bag, at this point you can just close it up. What I like to do, and I think I mentioned this in my last video with either the jar or the sachet, I like to hold mine in the palm of my hand and then activate the spell. And I'll go over the activation in just a minute. This is what I have so far. Sorry. I know my lighting isn't great today. All right, I'm going to light my green candle. Okay. I'm going to use the same activation that I used for the candle spell that I posted last weekend. Okay. If you wish to call in any deities, you can do so at any point. Today I'm going to call on my spirit team and my ancestors to come help me with this. All right. I'm going to say the following. Money, wealth, and prosperity come to me in abundance 3 times 3. Harming none as it comes my way, I call upon money to flow towards me with ease. The money in my bank account only grows with each passing day. And then this would also be a great time to repeat some wealth affirmations, like money flows towards me. Wealth is my birthright. Money is always looking for new and exciting ways to come to me. I do not have to work hard to earn money. The money in my bank account only grows. And I think that's enough wax. I gently blow out my candle, place it down. There you go. You have your cute little spell jar or sachet. Obviously, wait for the wax to dry. You can put this in your purse, put this by your bedside, do whatever you feel called to do with it. Ultimately, it is really up to you. If you feel like the spell has served its purpose, you could bury the jar. You could empty the jar and clean it and cleanse it. It is up to you how you wish to dispose of the jar. But if you're going to reuse it, definitely make sure you cleanse it beforehand, both washing it and also like spiritually as well. But there you go. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching.